Night Vision. Following clues left by our ancestors, we unbury the past to reveal a knowledge of unfathomable value, putting us just a little closer to our own true birthrights. From the secret history of a possible bloodline of Jesus Christ, to secret history of America's founders, to the secret history of extraterrestrial interaction on our planet, here to bring light to the night. Your host for Night Vision Radio, Renee Barnett.
Everyone, welcome once again to Night Vision. Thank you so much for joining us. And you're going to be glad that you did, because we have got a spectacular show, and I am not kidding in the least. Returning tonight to Night Vision is medium Heather Besser. And Heather went on a paranormal investigation over this last weekend, along with a friend of hers who is a paranormal investigator and researcher, Yvonne Watson. And Yvonne's here tonight, and Heather's here tonight, and I'm telling you, they're bringing some of the best evidence I've ever seen in paranormal investigation. Certainly the most incredible EVP I have ever heard. So I wanted to play it for you guys. I'm going to do that a little later in the show. So please hang with us. That's probably going to be coming up in the second half hour, because we're going to lay a little groundwork first for you. And I hope that you'll be as impressed as I was. You will be. And I would like for you to write to me and tell me what you think about it. Write to me at renee@kgradb.com. But first, I wanted to take care of a little shout outs here, or a few shout outs. First and foremost, I want to say a big shout out to my son, Devin, who is watching tonight. He's my only begotten son, in whom I'm well pleased. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. So thank you, son, for watching tonight, and you're going to be shocked. Also, wanted to give a big shout out to KGRADB's Dawn Ecker of Dark Matters, who has met Heather now, and is actually going to be having her on his show coming up on the 25th. That's Dark Matters on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific, so that would be 7 p.m. Eastern time. So Heather and I both will be on with Dawn on the 25th, and then I think we've got a special Halloween thing planned with Dawn as well. So we'll tell you about that a little bit later. But shout out to all you wonderful people listening, whether it's my friends or my son or friends I haven't met yet. Really, really appreciate you. Also, wanted to just mention one more time our good friend John Yost, who is battling pancreatic cancer. If you can, say a little prayer, send some good vibes, whatever it is, however you do it, send it his way. And if you can, go on GoFundMe and look up John Yost, Y-O-S-T, and help him out. He's really fighting hard. If any of you guys know, pancreatic cancer is probably the worst one. And in fact, I lost my very best friend from that 2 years ago this summer, or actually a year ago this summer. But so I had it's kind of close to my heart to support anyone going through that fight. And he's one of us. He's a UFO investigator. He's a movie producer. He produced a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on Amazon and Netflix. It's called Abduction: Answers. Abduction Answers. And it is a absolutely magnificently, beautifully done film. He's a talented filmmaker. And the good news is he's been getting these special treatments. He lives in Pennsylvania, but he's had to go to Arizona. So it's like super expensive. And that's why their sons set up a GoFundMe. So if you can, give a little shout out to John Yost, say a little prayer for him, and if possible, donate if you can. I know a lot of us are not always just floating in money, but your good wishes are good enough. if that's what you have to give. So without further delay, I'm going to bring on Heather Besser. She is our wonderful medium that a lot of you guys have met recently through Night Vision and other places where she's been appearing. Hi, Heather.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm well. I'm so glad to be back. I love this show.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we love you. And, still, even though we've been talking for quite a while now and quite a bit, I'm still surprised nearly every day by something that comes out of your mouth. It's like, what? And it's so funny the way that it does happen, because it's not like I'm sitting for a reading. It's like we'll be talking. We may even be in a group discussion. And we're all talking, and, Heather pops up and says, "Oh, your dog Toby's here." And I'm going, "What? How could you know I had a dog named Toby?" Even describing him and everything. So it's really funny. And I think sometimes, if, correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but it almost feels like it works best that way. Like, there's people talking and you're just kind of listening, and then somebody has a comment from the other side and you say, "Oh, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah." And we'll just all go, "What?"
Yeah.
And so, feel free to do that at any time. And again, Heather's spirit guide, or one of her spirit guides, or main spirit guide, I think, is a woman named Etta. And in life, she was Etta Place, who was a member of the Hole in the Wall gang. And she was married to, I get it wrong every time, Heather, Sundance.
She was married to Sundance, who was part of the Wild Bunch.
Sundance Kid. And so Heather communicates with Etta. Etta often brings through other people. She'll go get someone, or she'll bring someone through. And then sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, Heather, sometimes people will just show up, whether Etta brings them in. Sometimes they can just come through on their own.
Yes. Yeah.
I know when we were talking with Don Ecker the other night, there was a whole line of people waiting to talk to him. And I was like, what? And, a lot of, the people because I've known Don for 35 years, a lot of people, I knew exactly who you were talking about, but others, I'd never heard of these people. Some old cousin he hadn't talked to in 60 years and all kinds of things like that. And that's what is.
Hi, Dawn.
Dawn is watching. So I hope Vicky's watching too. His wife Vicky's watching. I think we freaked her out the other night, Heather. But because you got a lot of messages for her as well. I'm not going to give any of those away because it's not my place to give out that kind of information for someone else. But suffice it to say, when we hung up that phone, Dawn was flabbergasted. And we've been talking a lot since then and going over ideas about this and that and how it works and, what can be done and, all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting. But you know what? Why don't we go ahead and bring Yvonne on with us? I hate to have her sitting in the back room. And let's go ahead and bring Yvonne up. And then I want to continue to talk a little bit more, Heather, about what it is that you do and some of the things that you've been doing lately. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi.
Now, Yvonne, where are you located? What state?
I'm located in the Phoenix area.
Oh, okay.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. You're in Phoenix, and Heather's in Texas. And you guys did a trip together this weekend where you were doing some investigation and you got some amazing stuff, which we're going to talk about later. But one of the things that really startled me, I guess, from the beginning, as it has everyone that I've talked to, all the other colleagues of mine who've spoken with Heather, and that is that everybody is on the other side and there is no hell. And it's like there are really bad people that did really bad things, I'll say that, on earth, who are up there. But yet, and Dawn's thing was, well, hey, then why try to be good if everybody's going to the same place anyway? And I said, well, it's not exactly the same for everybody once you get there, because if you've not done the right thing, if you've not learned your lessons, then, you're not in a good position there. And I tried to describe, Heather, the way that you described, you had communicated with a couple of women who were actually SS guards in the concentration camps, I think Bergen-Belsen and then Auschwitz. And the thing was like, how could they be there? How could they be there? Could you explain a little bit about that and about how you see them differently from other people that are up there?
Yeah. So whenever we pass away, there's a point where we have to go through like a healing process about everything that we've done, and especially if you've done something really bad, like they did in their life. So you have to go to like these classes. I always have to use labels because as humans, we need labels for everything, So and if they don't get the healing that they need, they can't be like a full spirit, if that makes sense. Like they're almost fractured. They come through, like whenever I see Etta looks like a person whenever she presents herself to me. These women did not. They are black and white. They look the same. They didn't have faces. One chose to heal, one chose not to. And so the next time I saw the one who healed, she had a face. It's just strange.
Yeah, she's actually getting, healed and becoming whole, basically. Yes. And so the other one hasn't yet taken that route. So she's still in a weird and fractured, disjointed kind of state. And did you tell me, I might not be remembering this correctly, but did you say that, you can kind of even see through them, like with Etta, she's just like looking at a solid person. But
yes.
When they're in that fractured state, they're not solid.
No, they're not.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they have to do extra work, or do they have to come back and do it all over again? Do you have any ideas on that?
Well, I think that they have to forgive themselves for the things that they've done. And I think that I've had one spirit say that, a lot of people say, like in the church and everything, that we have to go up there and we're going to be judged. Someone has said that that's not the case, that we judge ourselves, that we're going to be the hard on ourselves, not them. And so if you can't forgive yourself, then you're going to be fractured, until that that you're worthy to be where you're at.
Wow. Yeah, it reminds me of, when you hear NDE stories, near-death experiences, and people say that they have to go through this life review and they see their whole life before them, good and bad. And I was watching a video a couple of days ago. A gentleman was talking about his experience, and they showed him, all the good things that he had done. And then they showed him where he kind of messed up. And he said he was able to feel, emotions from the other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely can. And, that's part of the whole healing process that they have to go through.
Yeah. So they have to experience I'm suddenly dry. They have to experience the pain of the people that they were hurting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your trip this weekend, how that came about?
Yeah, so we went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it was amazing. That was the first time that Yvonne and I actually met each other. We've known each other for many, many months, because we have a bunch of mutual friends. So my friend Jack and Yvonne and our friend Lori, we went to the Sandia Cave. We went to Santa Fe, to different churches. And it was just amazing, the things that we saw and the things that we encountered and the things that we felt, I will say, like in Albuquerque, there was such a strong presence of Native Americans and Navajo, and it was overwhelming at times. I know for myself, whenever I'm around like cemeteries and things like that, or like even around Albuquerque and Santa Fe, it was all the Native Americans. It sounded like a football stadium, and it was hard to pick out just one voice whenever I was trying to, but it just didn't happen. It was just constant. I can't even really describe it, but Yvonne, that happened to you too, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So how did you
When we
describe
went
it?
to Santa Fe. Yeah.
I gotta tell you,
And that was the first time that something like that had happened to me to that extent. And I had no idea what was going on, and still wouldn't had you not been there to tell me what was going on.
that's so strange. I gotta tell you, the only other time that this has happened to me on the show was one night when Jay, my historian, Jay, was on, and I don't even know if I can do this. We were talking about the ghost of World War One, and we were talking about this guy that had written this poem on the battlefield. And I couldn't stop coughing. And as soon as Jay read that poem, I stopped. Oh, I forgot to mention, he got choked as well. As soon as we read the poem, we both stopped coughing. So I don't know if someone's trying to get through or...
There is. I'm blaming Heather.
I'm going
Oh gosh.
Because like
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Thank you, Bill,
Well,
for coming.
I had went completely deaf. I had went completely deaf, and I actually lost my vision. It was all blurry at one point when I was with
Wow.
Heather. And I had no idea what was going on. And I was crying uncontrollably. And she had said there was a bunch of Native Americans that had been massacred, and were all trying to tell me at once what happened to them. And I was feeling their deaths. And it was terrifying for me. I mean, they were ready to call 911 and take me to the hospital. So it was great. Heather was there. What was going on?
well, when
And
it's
get me
not
through
over-
that.
I'll just ask a question quick while you recover a little bit.
Yeah.
And you are both enduring this feeling. Is there a lot of emotion involved? I mean, how do you, if it's such a rush of all this going on, how do you bring yourself down to relax yourselves when you're overwhelmed like this?
Well,
Heather, you can go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think for me, since it's been happening for a very long time, I kind of know how to deal with it. But if you're new to, hearing spirits, and you're new to hearing all of that at one time, it is overwhelming. It's very overwhelming.
Yvonne, for you, how is it to deal with that?
Well, it was horrible for me. But Heather and Etta came through and had me calm down. And they told me they identified my guide, and they helped me communicate with him. And then he took over talking to the Native Americans. And my guide happens to be Native American also. And he was able to stop it and clear it up. And so it stopped at that point.
Is there any specific message, a general message that they're trying to relay to either of you when this is going on? You said it was like a stadium of these voices or a presence. Is there a general message that they're trying to convey to either of you? Heather, go first.
Yeah, so whenever we were over there, and actually Yvonne, I think, lost her sight at that one point. She actually had to stop walking. She couldn't see. And we were at this place where it used to be their land, and it was just completely cemented off, and they had built like a bunch of buildings, and breweries and things like that over there. And what they were saying was, look around, look what they've done. Like, look what they've done to our land. And that's really just, and they just wanted us to acknowledge that, yes, that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was asking actually earlier today, Heather, about whether or not anyone, and I did want to invite, by the way, Etta or anyone who would like to join us and has a message for any one of us or anyone out there, or just generally for the world, for any specific group or anything. We're open to hear it. So you're welcome to speak up if you would. We'd love to hear from you. But when we were talking about it earlier, and I said something to Heather about that, Bill, she said they always say we're ruining the planet. That's what they always say. And, I've heard that for years from people that have near-death experiences and who have alien experiences.
Yeah, that I hear commonly. Yeah, I do.
Definitely. Very common. Very common. But, you hear them say, like with the near-death experiences, we got to be nice to each other. We got to stop ruining our planet, and we got to stop hating on each other. And, that's only good advice. That certainly can't hurt anything. If they were saying something really weird, I might be suspicious.
I just got a message from Don Ecker on Skype. He said to tell you, Renee, invite Sasha.
Oh, Sasha.
I don't know what that means, but that's what he told me to ask you and to relay to you.
Sasha is Dawn's spirit guide. And Heather told Dawn that she could communicate with Sasha, just talk to her. So Dawn keeps calling me. I keep talking to Sasha. I haven't heard back.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, he's definitely wanting to know more about Sasha or hear from Sasha. So if Sasha's here, you come on through as well. Sasha's another Native American spirit guide. And I'm not sure what my spirit guide, where she comes from, or honestly, I forgot.
There is somebody named Ray who wants to say hello to Warren.
Warren?
Maybe passed away in 2012, I believe.
Do you know anything about that, Bill? Warren, I'm telling the audience, is our boss.
I can get off and text him and see if he's, I don't know if he's watching, but I can relay that.
Get off, just text him. He should be watching. If he's not, see, we'll know, because he's not going to know what we're talking about him or to him.
Either of you, Yvonne or Heather, if you get any kind of vibe about something Native American regarding to me, please let me know, because I am in the middle of really doing some heavy internal personal research on my own family history, and it definitely ties into Native American. So I'm just saying.
Is that why you were going?
I did not know I had Native American in my family. Sorry. I didn't know I had Native American in my family. Still, I started digging in deep, and I had really connected. It was a fifth great grandfather, and really connected to him, and that is who my spirit guide is. And Heather, during a reading, had revealed that I was his wife in that lifetime too, which
that's wild. Yeah, it seems like we have connections with people in life, over and over again. And I guess that comes through in the idea of reincarnation. And then we're connected to them, when they're not incarnated. We're connected to them on the other side. It's really, really interesting. And it's like I encourage people to have a really good, healthy dose of skepticism, because there are people out there that, try to fake things or just imagine that they've got something that, that's not really there or something like that. I think it's good to really scrutinize things. And, Don Ecker, obviously he's a, former law enforcement, investigative mind and all that stuff. He's like, I just can't find anything to make me doubt her.
Tell me privately that Heather, you totally blew him away with what you were discussing with, I guess, Renee as well. In that phone call, he is like, Bill, you know how I am, and I know him for years. And for Don Becker to tell me that he can't believe it, like he's freaking out to me, and I'm like, if Don is this excited and if he's like grounded, like, and because he's a grounded, direct, blunt person, he'll tell you right to your face. You know, he's that kind of person. And for him to tell me, but I said, Don, I had the same experience. So did Renee. So does everybody that has a contact with Heather. And Yvonne, I'm looking to find out more about you as well, because Heather, like, we did a show with I'm don't want to mess up his name. Was it Dan Dukes? What's his name?
Yeah.
And after the show, she started saying things to me out of nowhere, and I'm like, where's this coming from? How does she know this? And I'm like, oh my, it was an OMG moment. There's no doubt about it. But I don't want to get into that. I want to hear more about this investigation that happened this past weekend or the weekend before.
Yeah. They went over to New Mexico, Sandia Mountains. I'd like to, if you don't mind, I'd like to show that sky picture first, because it's just so absolutely gorgeous and very interesting looking. I don't think you've seen this yet, Bill, but this was taken in the afternoon, about 4:00 in the Sandia Mountains.
That's an odd looking cloud.
It is. I was looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, there are elliptical clouds. Could be a cloud. Don was looking at it. We're saying, well, what, it's the right color to match the clouds, but yet it's more solid than the clouds looking. You see what I mean?
Not only that, the cloud is shaping around it on top.
Yeah.
Do you see how it's creating its own little area around it?
Yes.
That kind of gets me. And also, both sides of the clouds look equal. Mm-hmm. Like where the sides are. That's kind of an odd thing too, because a cloud you would think would have a little discoloration on one side or the other. This thing looks
lopsided or uneven.
Yeah, it looks pretty even. And I don't know. That's really an interesting photo.
Heather or Yvonne, do you get any sense about this photo?
So prior to this photo, we were going to the Sandia Mountains.
Well, I took the photo.
Okay.
Yes, I know. That's
Go ahead, Heather.
What did you?
Yeah, we were talking to the Ponte, which is a race of ET, and they were actually talking back to us. I can hear them as well, and we actually got them on recording. I don't know if Yvonne has any. I have a real bad habit of like actually recording the spirit box that I have, for other people to see. But yeah, we were talking to them and they were just, happy that we were there. They knew we were coming. Yeah. And it was just great.
Well, maybe we should talk a little bit about them because, and I think, I don't know if we mentioned them on a show or just in a private conversation. We talked so much, I can't remember, but there was you went to a cave where the Wild Bunch hid out, right?
Yes.
And according to Butch Cassidy, who you have connected with, they ran into ETs in that cave. And so these ETs are who are called the Ponte. And that's who you were kind of coming there to interact with. Is that right, Yvonne? Or were you looking to make connection with?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so then how is it?
Yeah. So
What were you doing when you got that photograph, that beautiful photograph?
When I got the photo, see, I've had contact with the Ponte before, just, from studying them and stuff. And it is known that they have a base there in the Sandia Mountains. And they do appear for people that meditate on it. They'll come and play little tricks on you, while you're sleeping, or show you some kind of evidence if you really go through the process of meditating and communicating. So we had put the intention out that we wanted to contact them and communicate to them. And when I take a picture, either for a spirit or for ET, I put the intention out there, please appear in my picture. So I just put it out there with a pure intention, please appear in my picture. And then I show gratitude if they show up. And that's what we were doing. We were putting that intention out there and taking pictures.
Wow, that is wild. And so when you were taking the picture, you saw it and you took the picture of it, or you just took a picture in the sky and then you noticed it?
I took a picture of the clouds and then I noticed it.
Wow.
I got to ask a question. Is there a connection between the Native American perspective on Ponte? Is there an actual connection with them, the culture? Because if this is in that region, you would think in oral tradition and just in overall conversation, this might be something that they have been experiencing for centuries, if not thousands of years.
You hear many Native Americans talk about
I am sure that
I'm sorry.
What tribe is that there?
that's
Near-
exactly what
Do you know what
Pardon?
tribe it is?
I believe that's Navajo.
Oh, it's Navajo. Yeah, I'm sure they talk about.
I'm not
interact-
sure. I'm not certain.
Yeah. But anyhow, okay, so you were headed for this cave because you wanted to see what you might be able to find out, because you knew that not only were the Ponte in that cave, but the Hole in the Wall gang had been in that cave. Butch and Sundance, and had Etta and Laura been in there too, or was it?
It was just Butch and Sundance and Etta. They were hiding from the Pinkertons at one point. So, yeah.
But the interesting part is Butch Cassidy, in his own inimitable way, with full of vulgarity and curse words, told you about how the Ponte helped them.
Mhm.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so whenever they went, they had to go in a hurry, and that's where they decided to hide. And it's a ways up, and I'm just thankful that there were stairs at this point. How they got up there, I'll never know. But yeah, they said that they helped them with food, with water, and just kept them safe in general.
Safe from the Pinkertons, huh?
Yeah, safe from anybody.
That is so interesting. So interesting. I mean, imagine a movie, Butch and Sundance, meet Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
All right. I'm thinking of like Cowboys and Aliens. What was that movie with?
Oh, yeah, Cowboys and Aliens.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
But
That was truer than we thought.
yeah, for real.
That is so crazy. But yeah, so you guys were in this cave. You were communicating with people, and then someone showed up that was unexpected. Two women showed up.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was a man there, and then two women showed up, and they showed up together because they're in the same soul group, and so it was kind of like one showed up for support of the other one, kind of thing. And so that's what happened.
And so while this was going on, you were communicating, and then Yvonne, am I correct? You left the cave, went to your truck. To meditate, right?
I never went up to the cave. I stayed behind. I never went up to the truck. I stayed behind by myself.
Oh, so you were already in the truck.
So I had no idea what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
I was already outside down at the truck. I never went with them on the trail up to the cave.
And so
And I decided to start doing spirit communication.
Okay, so you were trying to communicate, and you said you felt someone touch you.
Yes,
during
when
that?
I was meditating, someone touched my arm. So I decided to turn on and try to communicate.
Oh, I see. So that's what prompted you to turn on your little app. Now, I wanted to share
Yeah.
what that app is with people so that in case they want to try it, where did I put it? Oh, yeah, I put it on banners, of course. So this is what you were using. Spirit TV box.
And the app I've been using for over 2 years, I use different kinds.
Oh,
when you do use it, I do recommend you put your device in a airplane mode so you have no interference when you're using it. But that is the app that I use for that, which will also take pictures too, by the way.
Oh, okay. So it takes video, audio, recordings, and photographs. And I know there was a photograph, Heather, that was associated with the EVP. Who took that picture and when was that taken?
Yvonne actually took that picture.
And where were you when you took that picture?
That was on the app. So as I'm getting the communication, they have an ability, it'll come up and say they took a picture. So they're taking a picture. It's very unclear, but you can kind of tell what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm curious when Sasha's involved, because Don also mentioned this as well. Can Sasha speak through a spirit box?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to get that clarification because Don was wondering that.
Don, go talk to Sasha.
You'll have Sasha all for yourself for 2 hours on the 25th.
We're going to be, that's what that whole show's going to be. We're going to be trying to reach Sasha.
It's just Dawn talking to Sasha for 2 hours. That's it.
Exactly. All right, guys. I think, we may be ready to show the video. I want to explain that the video is about a minute long. I think it's a minute and 1 second. And you're going to listen. It's going to sound like your standard EVP. Keep listening. And then, if you are worried, that you almost missed the good part, I will play it again. So don't worry about that. So we are going to go. Now, I've never heard an EVP like this at all, ever.
Yeah, I thought she was directly talking to me.
Oh, that's right. Because when Yvonne played it, Heather recognized the voice, and she didn't realize it was on the recording. She thought she was communicating with this person, but she didn't realize that it was also on the video. So here we go.
And when they came down, I said, my God, you guys are not going to believe what I got. This woman was talking to me, and Heather said, did she have a German accent? And I go, yeah, how did you know that?
Don't give it away.
I played it, and she recognized it was. I will not give it away.
You just did.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
I'm teasing you. Here we go.
Are there any Pontees here? Any ETs? When I was meditating, I felt somebody touch my arm. Did somebody touch my arm?
I want to go home. I want to go to heaven. I will never forget. I'm buried. I am dead. I'm here. I'm hurt. I'm in Christ. I'm scared. I'm so sad. It's so dark. It's very hot here. It killed me.
Wow. Thank you for coming.
All right, timeout. Timeout. I gotta do a timeout here. The weird thing when that was coming through, it's like it took control of totally of that phone because the way the app was working, it froze the screen.
Yeah.
And it looks like it actually took over the device to bypass everything just to get the point across in the message. And then toward the end of it, you see the phone, the app working kind of normally back again. That is bizarre.
Yeah, and it's not like a splice. It doesn't look like a splice or anything.
No. But it's weird. Can you play that, please, again?
Sure. Nice.
Are there any Pontees here? Any ETs? When I was meditating, I felt somebody touch my arm. Did somebody touch my arm?
I want to go home. I want to go to heaven. I will never forget. I'm buried. I am dead. I'm here. I'm hurt. I'm in Christ. I'm scared. I'm so sad. It's so dark. It's very hot here. It killed me.
Wow. Thank you for coming through. It's very dark. Are you trapped here?
That's it.
Now that was in the cave. Was that in the cave?
No. Yvonne was in her truck. Yvonne did not go in the cave. Heather was in the cave, and Heather was communicating with the two women who were the two women who were the Nazi guards showed up. Elizabeth Balkenrath and Irma Greze. And Elizabeth is the one who has actually been working on her own forgiveness, and she is better. Irma's the one that's still all really messed up. So I wanted to show you.
But before you get to that, how did you get the names? Did they come to you, Heather or Yvonne?
Heather,
Yes. I've talked to them before on a couple occasions. Yeah.
and Heather, listening to it, knew who it was.
Right.
And they were talking. Heather was talking to them inside the cave while Yvonne was in the truck waiting for them. Yeah, and doing this, recording and meditating. She was trying to communicate with the ETs, and then Irma Greze came in. Now, I'll show you who it was. This is who it was. That's Irma Greze. She was at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. She did horrible, horrible things. She set her dogs on people. She selected people for execution. I mean, there's a lot of bad stories. Heather Dawn even has a lot more bad stories about her that I didn't know. And the other lady who comes is Elizabeth Balkenrath. Now, Elizabeth seems to have embraced, whatever it is she needs to learn, forgiveness, forgiving herself, and that sort of thing. So during that EVP that Yvonne got, a picture came on that screen. It allows you to take a photograph. Or they say, we're going to send you a photograph, or we're going to take a photograph. So this is the photo that came in. Now, you can see on the right-hand side, clearly,
a face.
A face. And then the one next to her is very broken up and unclear.
Right.
Heather says that the one that's visible is Elizabeth, and the one that's broken up is Irma.
Can you put Elizabeth back up?
But in that picture, Elizabeth is smiling.
Yeah, because I'm looking at her cheekbones. You know what I mean? What it would look like if she was smiling.
Her deep set eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's this?
that is a picture of me and a picture of Laura Bullion.
Now, this is Laura Bullion was married to Butch Cassidy, or was with him.
No, she was with Ben Kilpatrick.
Oh, that's I always get that.
Yeah,
But she was a member of that group.
the
And
Wild Bunch.
oh, that bunch. Okay, the Wild Bunch. And Heather was her back then. So
Yeah,
this
per my spirit guide. Yeah.
was one of Heather's lifetimes. And so the one on the right-hand side is Laura Bullion, and the one on the left is Heather. It does look similar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Really interesting. And Dawn, no, we don't have a picture of Sasha. Okay? We're working on it.
Wow.
I can probably draw one. I'm not good at drawing, so it'll probably be like a stick figure, but you'll get it.
Exactly. Who knows? Maybe she'll show up one of these days on one of those apps or something.
So what's next for both of you? Like, where do you go from here? Like, what are you guys planning another expedition investigation in a different location? Like, what are you guys up to now next?
I think the sky's the limit, you know?
Things we're going to do is I think Heather's going to come out to LA and we're going to have, you know, a ghost investigation, go on, you know, ghost hunt. She has a lot of clients out here that want her to come out. So we're going to plan something and have some sort of event here. We've been talking to the powers that be at KGRA. There may be some stuff coming down the pike for us here on KGRA. And lots of other stuff we're thinking about. Oh, and in the spring, Heather is going on a trip to France.
She's going with you?
She's going with me.
There you go.
And a group of people. One of the reasons that we're going is because when I was talking to Heather, my friend Gloria came through. Gloria Amendola, who you knew, well, and who passed away 3 years ago. And she said, be sure, you know, go and get a, you know, be sure and be there on the 4th of April. And I went like, oh my God, that was the day that she passed away. And so I called a few people. The group sort of put itself together. And that's how I knew it was the right thing to do. So we're heading over to France in the spring. We'll arriving on Easter Sunday and staying for a week, going to look at all the sites, going to some really wild historical places that we want to get Heather's sense of. We're going to be doing all kinds of things. We've got a lot of stuff planned for that week. And then, you know, the next one will be most likely UK.
You know what I find interesting? That Yvonne is where are you located again, Yvonne?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, that's right. And Heather's in Texas.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Right. Now, do you guys have this connection all the time? Because it seems like it doesn't matter what distance it is. I mean, she's in the cave, you're in the vehicle, and she's doing this, and you're getting activity on your phone. It's like you have this connection with each other. Do you find this had to happen often where you guys are like, I was just thinking of this, and oh my gosh, you know what I mean? That connection between the two of you.
There are weird things happen whenever people are around me.
Yes.
Get ready, Renee.
Yeah. And, you know, we were just talking. In fact, another paranormal investigator was going to be joining us this evening, Aunt Christina, and she unfortunately got sick, you know, that some kind of weird flu bug or something. So, Christina, if you're listening, you're going to have to come on another time.
Feel better.
You're not off the hook and feel better. Yeah, absolutely. But she was gonna be on as well. And so Heather goes, you know, does things with different groups. She does things on her own. It's just pretty wild. She sees clients, but her hobby, her fun is going investigating. That's what she does for her relaxation. And then, of course, it blows everybody's mind once, they start hearing things that she has to say about the locations and things like that. So it's quite amazing. And Christina, we were talking on the phone yesterday or day before yesterday, and she was telling me that she suddenly has developed automatic writing still. And she said, it's only since, it's because of Heather. And she says, and my mom's getting psychic abilities from being around Heather. And I've started noticing weird synchronicities constantly, and I'm always trying to talk myself out and say, oh, it's just my imagination. But then something else happens. And I'm like, no, that couldn't be
Not a coincidence.
Yeah. So I am going to warn everyone that wants to make an appointment with Heather that you might turn psychic real quick.
Yeah.
Now, during this show, have either of you, Heather or Yvonne, had any kind of feeling going on or some impression going on?
Yes. So it's actually about you and that you're going to be okay. Like that was just a thing.
What was it?
You're going to be okay. Like that was just what happened whenever,
that was just a blip on the radar.
Yeah. Just a little road bump there.
You know something? This is true because we only got like 5 minutes, but before this happened, all right, I just turned this age. I'm not saying what age. But before I turned this age, the number of this year kept coming up to me. Every time I thought about my age, it was the age that I was going to become. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, why is this number so predominant? Like, what's going to happen when I hit this age? And I think it was that.
Of course. And that's the little things that happen in our lives, the synchronicities that we talk about, because there is no such thing as coincidences. And that's what happens. You just have to listen for them.
Yep.
We're talking about it publicly. Those who may not know, Bill had a heart attack recently, scared the poop out of all the rest of us. And so we've been keeping an eye on him, but he's going to be okay, huh?
Yes.
Hearing right. Heather, that gives me comfort. It does. Anyway, I'll bail out for the last minutes. We only got 4 minutes. It was great seeing you both, Heather and Yvonne. And hopefully you guys will come back soon in the future. And I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more of both of you moving forward. So always a pleasure. I'm thankful to be part of this. Thank you, Renee, for allowing me to come on.
I had to have you here. I wanted, and then it became necessary once. You notice my coughing, it was just an episode. I don't know what that was. But the one time that happened before, it was similar circumstances, similar stories and stuff. It was just really interesting. And Jay and I both went, why did that happen? But did you notice that as soon as we read that guy's poem, it stopped? And it was very weird.
But it kind of stopped suddenly again tonight, just saying.
Yeah, it did. It was just like, and I felt like that. I felt like it was something, it was just, I can't explain it. It was, could have been my imagination. I could have just, dry mouth, whatever, but it was crazy. But anyhow, yeah, well, it was Heather.
She always says, you said it earlier, when people are around you, strange things happen.
Yeah, I try to always think of a rational explanation, and then I just can't seem to find one when it's got Heather involved. So there you go. I told Heather, I said, I don't want you to think I'm taking advantage of you, but I keep like bringing people to her and then just sitting there watching while she blows their minds. And then I just get such a charge out of that.
That is actually fun to be a part of that. When
it is.
To witness their reaction. And because I was like, wow. I mean, I was overwhelmed.
You can tell someone about it, but until they experience it themselves, they do not get the full impact of it. Now, I'm interested to.
But that goes across the board for anyone who has a paranormal experience across the board, whether it's extraterrestrial, spiritual, whatever it is. That's across the board. Unless you have an experience, it does change you. It happened to me multiple ways. So
yeah, absolutely.
And thank you both for doing what you're doing, your contributions, and because it's also about helping people.
Oh, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
peace, comfort. I mean, that to me, it did for me.
It does. It really does. If you've lost a loved one, it really helps to give yourself that little connection and to say that we do go on. Our loved one is not just disappeared, didn't just blink out like a light, And for someone, we're all facing death at some point or another. But for those who fear death, it's such a great comfort, and every NDE experiencer you hear says, I didn't want to come back to Earth. I wanted to stay there. It's so wonderful. So,
when I was in the hospital and the doctors are talking around me, the whole time I was in the hospital, you won't believe it, I had my eyes closed. From the point I was in the ambulance to being in the emergency room and getting in the cath lab when they did this, I had my eyes closed and I was in such peace. And it felt like there was something there to keep me in peace.
wow.
I cannot explain that any other way than just the way I said it. But I was in a very odd peacefulness that if it happens now, I'm going to be okay regardless.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that was my own personal experience, but I had that feeling. It was odd, but it was a good odd. It was a good odd. Anyway, we got about 30 seconds.
All right, guys. Well, Yvonne, thank you so much for sharing your EVP with us.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
And Heather, thank you as always for sharing your gifts with us. And I would love to, talk to both of you again at great length. Obviously, Heather, I know I'll be talking to you. I'm going to, send you some other weird question in the middle of the night, like.
And I'll answer every weird question you have. So.
I'll be like watching something. I'll go like, oh, let me ask Heather about that. And it'll be like 2 a.m. and I'll say, what do you think about this? And
well,
then answer me the next.
Heather, prepare yourself. Dark Matters with Don Ecker on September 25th, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time on Monday on KGRADB.com, because you're going to be overwhelmed with Sasha.
I know, right?
Anyway,
show.
Love to all of you and to all those that are watching and listening. Have a great night, everybody. Renee, take us out.
Thank you, Bill. Good night, everyone. Love you all.
Good night.
Be nice.